that's going.
But you're getting it.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign. KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes, because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
I always do. How was I to know she was with the Russians too? I was gambling in Havana. I took a little risk. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Dad, get me out of this. Ha!
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody?
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Otherwise known as Chat Lives Matter Night, right here live on KLRNradio.com, and we are slowly but surely trying to take over the world. So we're currently broadcasting through KLRNradio.com. We're simulcasting through Spreaker, Live 365, Ordy's X account, the Station X account at KLRN Radio. We're on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook. We're basically kind of everywhere because we're trying to take over the world. So anyway, hope everybody's having
Hooray, technology!
Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday night, and thanks for hanging out with us. And despite what Fu said last hour, chat lives do matter. Just saying.
Chat lives do matter. Team No Pants.
Yeah.
Miss you, Ron.
Represent. Oh yeah, it's coming up on
So,
the it's
just
coming
a
up on the
little programming
anniversary.
note. You put us out under AOTR.
Oh, I didn't. I did. Crap.
You
Hang
did.
on.
That's all right. That's fine. We'll fix it in post.
I thought
How you doing, man?
I thought I fixed that. I could have swore I fixed that. Anyway, this is what happens when I'm trying to do levers and switches in like 6 different places now. I need a producer monkey.
So I should just walk away, go get myself a beer, and let you do your thing.
This is what happens when anyway. I need a producer monkey.
Yeah, you the producer needs a producer.
No, I need to be
That's
I need to be host monkey and have a producer monkey now because reasons.
There we go.
Lots of switches.
So anyway, hi, how you doing? What's going on with Rick? What's new with Rick?
I don't know. It's been a long week for me, so I went. So I had.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, I get it, but you didn't let me finish. So I had back-to-back birthday parties last weekend, and I'm pretty sure I managed to pick up a nice little bug. Because by Saturday,
that's right, you have it down.
All I wanted to do was sleep, and I did. Now this is twofold because I'm an insomniac to begin with. So problem one is I I slept half of Saturday away, and then I got up and was like, okay, I'm going to get some work done, and ate something, and then next thing I know, it was like, I'm just going to sit here for a minute. I fell asleep in my chair, woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, realized it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sleeping in my chair. Then I moved to my bed. Then I finally got up at like 9 o'clock, and then went to church, and then went to lunch, and then came home and slept again. And then was like, it's Father's Day. I'm not going to do a show. It's Father's Day. It's Sunday. I don't feel that great. I'll just hit the ground running on Monday. Monday came, and I felt even worse. I'm like, oh, my God. So I called my doctor. She's like, just keep taking the stuff you've been taking. You know, if you need to, double up. And I'm like, okay, fine. And she's like, and don't forget, you do have that emergency allergy stuff that I prescribed you that's like a rescue inhaler. And she said, you still have that, right? And I said, yeah, I still have some. She's like, use that too. So I finally started doing that on Monday night, and then felt a little bit better yesterday, and woke up feeling really good today, and was like, oh, I'm going to do my show and everything. And then I was like, but I have a guest to prep for, and I have this to do, and I have that to do. And by the time I did all that, it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I hadn't done my afternoon show. And I was like, I really need a producer monkey.
You know, okay, so I saw it, but I missed it. Who was your guest?
And now that I don't have him in front of me, hang on. Jeff Reynolds.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he actually is an investigative guy with. He did. He just dropped a second part of an in-depth investigation into where all the funding for the Hamasniks in the college campuses are coming from. So.
Ooh, that's good. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that.
Yeah. Actually, we're planning on having him start hopefully doing recurring visits, and I'm going to pass his information around to anybody else that does political stuff that might want to have him on, because he was actually a lot of fun.
Cool.
But yeah, I would mention the website that he writes for, but I don't have it in front of me, and it's a really confusing kind of name. So I do remember that much. Actually, hang on, I think I do have it in front of me still. It's just under another tab. So I guess the website itself isn't that confusing. It was the link he gave out that was confusing. But he actually does his investigative reporting for Restoration News.
Oh, okay. I have heard of them.
Yeah, me too. I hadn't heard of him much yet, but I know him and Stacy have been connected for quite some time. And she was like,
I think that's where I heard of it through Stacy.
Yeah, and she was like, wait, tonight's the night that you have him, right? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I have so much going on, I'm not going to be able to be there. And I'm like, well, I hope it'll be okay since we have a guest.
Right.
But anyway,
okay.
So what's new?
Yeah.
What's new with you?
I'm 6 ounces lighter.
Is that what your appendix weighed? Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah. For those of you who didn't hear, who weren't around for FUBAR, haven't been on social media at all this week. Ow. I had my appendix removed on Monday, so that was awesome. You know what's funny is that it's like, so the 3 holes they put into my side to get the appendix out, those don't hurt at all. Those I don't even notice it. They 3 incision points to get the robot in there, and the robot didn't try to take over. In fact, because I'm cool with my Alexa, so that
I have to admit that joke made me laugh. I was like, no wonder if
You know, it made the nurses laugh too. So that was the important part. But the one where they put the stapler in, this is when I knew I was going to love my surgeon, because the surgeon laughed when I said this. And so to close the wound, around the bowel, they had to make a bigger incision down by the waist to get the stapler in. And I did the voice from Office Space of, somebody took your stapler, and she just started gut rolling. And I had this. She's this kind of like cool hippie, kind of like, I mean, the way that she moves is, you could tell she's the same way that she moves through the parking lot at a Dead show. So, and usually that put most people on edge, but with me, I was like totally cool with that, and very professional when it came down, when the rubber hits the road. But just in talking with her, absolute total, early 60s hippie chick. And I'm just like, you know what? This is going to be fine. These are my people. So everything went great. It's, I didn't dig being intubated, but nobody ever does. And, was in and out in 5 hours. Well, yeah, they have to, because they basically paralyze your, torso.
Oh yeah, no, I understand, but for some reason that dot didn't click until you said. I was like, oh yeah, they do have to. Ooh.
Yeah, and that one, it was just like, I mean, really, the only thing I didn't dig about it was when I was coming out of anesthesia and the nurse said, "Oh hi," I said hi, and it was more like, she's like, "Oh shit, let me get that out." So, but yeah, no, you know what? It was, like I said, 5 hours. They didn't make me stay overnight. Was able to fire off some text messages to people, letting them know I was okay, and came out. Got on Twitter for a little bit, realized I was still fucking higher than shit, and said, I better get off social media before I say some things.
Yeah,
I saved that for the podcast.
Yeah, I noticed that you were like, okay, guys, I'm alive, and I was gonna, but I'm going to bed. Like, yeah, okay, cool.
So, it's Fu put out a tweet, so I had to. I didn't have to. I was glad to thank everybody who sent me some well wishes, and just kind of okay. There we go. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. I had to bag Manorama last night because I was still kind of doped up and not feeling awesome. But like I said before, FUBAR too, I may have accidentally taken 2 oxy and 2 muscle relaxers. So I'm chatty as fucking feeling good right now.
Nice.
Ask me anything.
Yeah, it was funny because I was talking to Jeff about that last night because I pimped Manorama. I didn't know. I knew you wouldn't be on, but I'd forgotten that he wasn't on there right now either. So I pimped it as I was coming off because they had just gone live and I saw it come on X. And I was telling Jeff, I said, I tried to watch them last night, but it's not as much fun when you guys aren't on there. Anyway.
I didn't say it.
I'm allowed to say it. You're not. I'm not affiliated with them.
Yeah. They're great. Yeah, they're great guys though. They really, it is a fun panel. It's good. It's good fun. I love when we do gun shows, or we have to call them 2A shows when we're on YouTube. Otherwise we get, demonetized or kicked or whatever. But, when we do our outdoorsy kind of, hunting, camping, food shows. And that's why I got to get light a fire under Vincent Charles' ass, because when he's talking about food, all I want to do is just throw a napkin over my head to hide my sin from God and just plow down on a plate.
I get that.
Yeah. It's like when you and I start talking about food. Like when I finally got you on the peanut butter burgers.
Oh, dude, the funny thing is you were trying to get me to do that for a long time before I ever did. And then now it's like anytime I make burgers, my kids are looking at me like I'm nuts because I'm like, I'm putting peanut butter on mine, guys. You can do it if you want to, but the funny thing is, so my first experience with that, because I wasn't gonna do it myself, was Sonic actually had like a whole peanut butter thing going on for 1 month. So I went ahead and tried it. And I'm like, you know what? If I hate it, I even bought an extra burger just in case I hated it. Not even gonna lie about it. Mm-hmm. So then, and the funny thing is, I didn't at first. I was like, yeah, it's decent, and then I tried to eat the other burger, and I was like, oh my god, I don't think I'm ever making burgers another way again. My only other thing is, I will say, I do still occasionally use barbecue sauce because I've loved that for forever.
And the barbecue sauce with the peanut butter isn't a bad mix. It's not optimal.
I haven't. I don't. But it'll be another.
Like I tell you how I make it. My friend makes a kick-ass jalapeno jelly.
See,
so
that's
I
what
use
I
that
did
as
the
my
last
peanut
time.
butter and jelly.
Yeah, that's what I did the last time when I made them at home. I found some. Now I don't have homemade anymore because I don't have a garden. But I did find some jalapeno jelly in the grocery store. It was expensive, but I went in and bought it.
Right.
So and for me, because I do grilled PB&Js too. So
Yeah.
So I actually
you got me on those. I did one of those before I went down.
So the last time I made mine, I went ahead and used the crunchy peanut butter that I normally use for my grilled PB&Js and the jalapeno jelly. And oh my god, I was like, I might need a shower after this.
Right.
My kids were like, Dad, I'm like, shut up. You're like old now. You can hear stuff like this.
Yeah. So yeah. Ooh, cream cheese. I might have to try that too. It's from on X. Somebody commented jalapeno jelly cream cheese. I might try that on a bacon burger too.
Oh,
nice. Give that a shot.
Because
I do love, it's like, prior to my discovery of putting the jalapeno jelly on the peanut butter burger, the way I would enjoy jalapeno jelly is just dump the jar on top of a block of cream cheese and go to town on it with some wheat thins. And that's, that's the cult, that's part of my culture. That's how my people enjoy. But yeah, doing that on the burger with the cream cheese, I can totally see the value of that. I'm going to give it a shot. Thanks, Fidgy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely could be worth it. I mean, after trying peanut butter on a burger, I think I'm pretty much down to try almost anything.
Try fried egg.
I've had fried eggs on burgers before.
Okay.
Yeah, my favorite take on a breakfast burger is well done bacon, kind of medium well on the burger because I still like it a little moist, and then runny fried egg and hash browns because then the hash browns soak up the runny egg.
Two tots.
So I thought about that, and that would be easier for homemade.
But I do like the hash browns too. If you get the hash browns crispy.
Oh yeah, see that's my thing is the hash browns have to be crispy, and I don't know what is going on with short order restaurants anymore because they don't ever make them crispy unless you specifically ask.
Dude, you have to ask them for crispy now. What the fuck is that?
I'm like, since when did it's like McDonald's, but McDonald's French fries. McDonald's French fries used to be the best French fries hands down in the entire country, and now they suck. Right. I'm like, So first thing is because everybody got mad and because it wasn't disclosed and people are like vegan and shit. They're like, we don't like the fact that you fry your French fries in beef tallow. I don't give a shit. They tasted good. Then it was we're going to start. So then they started doing peanut oil, which doesn't make the fries taste the same. Then they were like, don't salt them either. We can salt them ourselves. Well, eventually they're like, somebody started a whole, and this was back when like Facebook was still barely a thing. Somebody started a campaign on Facebook for McDonald's called Salt the Fries. So eventually they started doing that again. But even now, and I don't know if it's because everybody that handles like fry cook stations now are people that are used to getting French fries from a microwave or but they're never crispy anymore. They're never done all the way. And I'm just like, French fries are not supposed to droop like you forgot to take your 4-hour pill. I'm just saying.
Hey, while we're talking about burgers and everything, and you mentioned beef tallow, I got to throw this out there too. This is a trick that Jeff gave me. Was in California, it's really hard to find beef that's like 80-20. Usually it's 90-10. And it's the fat that gives it the flavor. So I haven't enjoyed buying ground beef for a while, and he's the one who turned me on to just throw in a spoonful of beef tallow in there, and he uses Wagyu, and he turned me on to a Wagyu tallow. Oh fuck, it's just like the old burgers of old. So
yeah, I mean, leave it to California to fuck up burgers.
I did get turned on. I didn't know that they did this. The butcher in town, one of the butchers in town, they do 80-20, but the 20's bacon.
Oh, now see, that's amazing. So what you should really start doing though is just buy your own cuts of meat and get a grinder. That's actually one of the things that I've been looking into. I found a real guy named Meat Dad, and he like gives instructions on how to cut shit up. And I'm like, I'm gonna get a grinder one of these days and just start doing it myself. But I live in the country, so I've been learning to be more self-sufficient, which is why I think next year we will probably have a garden again. Because I have missed fresh produce.
Now that you don't have roommates and fucking
those kind of things. Yeah. But anyway,
yeah. So you know what? We burned a half hour of the show. What's grinding your gears? What's on Rick's mind?
Well, I mean, we didn't technically burn a half hour because we were a little late, but we burnt like 20 minutes so far. But anyway, so what's grinding my gears is listening to folks like Rachel Madcow and all of the other leftist media loonies trying to tell us how, these videos are edited somehow. And I'm like, we don't need to edit footage. He was declared non-compos mentis by a special prosecutor. We don't
Right.
we don't need to edit anything. It's on record that he's too feeble and old he's too feeble and old and mentally
He won't release
deranged.
her tapes, and even her said he wouldn't prosecute because he's not fit to stand trial. What are you guys hiding at this point?
Dude, the whole week, the whole weekend at Bernie's thing is just terrifying to me.
Rock on Mars with your fingers in your ears to not know that those things happened.
Oh, dude. So the funniest thing happened. So, before Fu put it out on her feed, the show that I did with the guy before Jeff Reynolds was probably one of the highest numbers we've had in a while. So by the time we rolled over to do America Off the Rails, I started attracting hecklers on YouTube. That was fun. They were like, tell me how Joe Biden is a dictator. I'm like, I only have 10 minutes left in my show. That's not enough time.
Right.
But I'll give you the Cliff's Notes. And then they kept telling me that I was wrong. I was like, dude, I will send you links. Just tell me where to find you. They're like, it doesn't matter because you're just in a MAGA echo chamber. I was like, I didn't want Lord Spraytan to run again either. I'm not in a MAGA echo chamber. I am MAGA now because you idiots have made me MAGA, because I've always aligned with the idea of, we need to, well, in my opinion, keep America great, not necessarily make it great again. But the whole thing that drives me nuts is watching everything that they have done, watching everything that they've allowed him to be the mouthpiece for. When it's a group of 3 or 4 people that are just having all their wet dreams and caviar wishes granted, with an old senile old man as the mouthpiece. Chief among them being Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, who basically told everybody before he ever left office, oh, I know I can't really do this again, but if I could find a way to do it from my basement and have somebody else do the things that I wanted them to do, that's exactly what I would do. So, I mean,
Sure,
he Babe Ruthed it. That's what he did.
Yeah.
He pointed to the fence and said, this is what I'm going to do. And then he got pissed off because I guarantee you him and Hillary already had some of this shit cooked up. But Trump managed to get in the way the first time, which is why they're coming after him so hard now, because they can't let it happen again. Which is why I've been telling everybody, because everybody was convinced when they first started coming after him. They're like, if he just drops out of the race, they'll drop all the charges. No, they won't. No, they won't. This is the continuation of what they wanted to do in 2016. This is why Strzok and Page were talking about an insurance policy. And this is what I haven't been able to make anybody understand. And even Mr. Reynolds earlier today didn't get it until I said it a couple of different times. I was like, imagine how much differently the Russian collusion narrative would have gone if Hillary Clinton was in office and not him. I said he would have probably been jailed like they're trying to do now. He would have been completely discredited. They would have seized all his assets for colluding with a foreign enemy. And they may have even tried him for treason, which is what they're, if they can get any of this stuff to stick, I guarantee you that's going to be what happens next. They're going to try that man for treason because their entire plan was to basically torpedo the Republican Party so hard and so badly that nobody wanted to vote for it again for another 100 years. Because that's what Johnson told everybody. If I can get these N-words voting, if I can get these guys to pass this, these N-words are going to be voting for us for forever. So don't tell me that I don't know what I'm doing. And that's exactly what happened. The problem is they overplayed COVID so hard, and then people like DeSantis and Abbott started shipping all the migrants everywhere. So now people of color are having to deal with it in other states besides, Arizona and Texas and everywhere else that are border states. So now Chicago's pissed, New York City's pissed. You got people that are like, and now that Trump's been convicted of 34 felonies, I mean, I'm a white guy and people are going to yell at me for saying this, but I'm just saying there are plenty of people of color that I've heard has been like, dude's got cred with us now.
Well, and that was all over Black Twitter back when he was, indicted. When they raided his house. I mean, that was, he's one of us. So, yeah, I mean, and then you see it in the poll numbers, too. You see that Biden is losing with Hispanics. He's losing with African Americans. He's losing across the board. The only thing he's keeping is everything after the G in LGBTQRAMOUSE and white suburban liberal women. And that's it. That's the only thing he's retaining. Everybody else is just fucking bailing. And it's pretty impressive. I've never seen somebody piss off so many people in 4 years that wasn't Bush 41.
Well, you know how I know how bad it is? So, as far as the internal polling. So 2 things. One, I saw this. So I think it was MSNBC. I'm pretty sure, because in that the one Joy Reid is on. I think, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she was doing a show that I guess aired last night, talking about how they were showing CNN's Chiron, MSNBC's Chiron, and then Fox's Chiron. In case anybody doesn't know what that's a little, if you're watching us, the little thing along the bottom that says follow us on X. Yeah, that's what that is. Just not trying to talk down to anybody, just trying to explain. But so they were talking about how each of the networks had framed the thing that, Joe Biden basically just granted mass amnesty to like 500,000 plus illegal migrants. So it's on CNN. It was like Joe Biden about to make historic decision about illegal migrants. And then MSNBC is Joe Biden's about to grant mass amnesty. Why did it shouldn't? I see what you're talking about now, but it shouldn't have actually set America off the rails because I did fix that. Anyway, sorry, got distracted. All right. Anyway, so then they show the Fox News Chiron, and Fox News was talking about the illegal migrant that was just arrested for like raping a 13-year-old. And then they were like, see, it's nothing but scare tactics with them. And then they're like, we don't even understand why they're doing all this, because only 39% of Hispanics actually even support the idea of closing the border. That's a lie. The last time they were polled, 51% of Hispanic Americans are fine with closing the border. If you look at even the ones they don't count as Hispanic Americans, that number is closer to like 53, 54%. Because even the ones that have gotten here illegally want the door shut behind them.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. But I mean,
that's just like the nouveau riche. When you get the new rich, they always want to slam the door how they got rich behind them. That's looking Mark Cuban and shit like that.
That's weird. It updated on my end and it didn't update on yours. So that's why it's showing America off the rails on yours. I think it's because you may have synced up before I changed the title. So that's why.
Could be.
I was like, I know I changed it because I can see it. Anyway,
sorry. You want to take a quick break?
Yeah.
Get some more iced tea.
Yeah, might as well, because I've been stuck to this desk for a minute. So,
okay, peel yourself off the desk and.
Just gonna go to break with how we open because I didn't have anything loaded.
On Twitter, you're gonna be getting some dead air. For those of you at klrnradio.com, you'll be getting commercials.
And on Live 365, dead air too. So we'll be right back though.
Yeah. Be back in a minute.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign. KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
I am Conor McGregor, multiple weight MMA champion. I'm a fighter and I've been through many battles in the octagon. Many consider my fights in the octagon heroic, but the real life heroes are those men and women who fight to protect us every day. The real life fighters, the real life heroes, are the firefighters and police officers. These first responders are true heroes, because these brave men and women put themselves in the line of danger every single day protecting us all. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation ensures that first responders from fire, EMS and police departments who are killed in the line of duty with young children have a home without the burden of a mortgage. They are my heroes. They need our help today. I'd like to ask you to join me in donating $11 a month to support their efforts. Your $11 a month honours and supports our first responders. Please call now at 1-844-BRAVEST or visit tunneltotowers.org.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop-up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you, see you, see you.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
I took a little risk.
For those of you watching and listening on the streams, it sounds like Trainwreck Radio on your side. I promise on the outgoing sides of our rails, it sounds almost normal, except normally we don't just play the same song over and over and over again. Anyway, we're back. We're live. And yeah, just a reminder, he's had major surgery and I've been half dead for 4 days. So
So I'm up, he's down. Usually I'm the one coming in whipped from work, just like you, just feed me topics. I'm good to go. So I talked about it last hour. Sorry. I talked about it last hour. Did you happen to go see the Mount St. Helens page?
I haven't yet.
Did you go check that out?
But no,
Okay.
because I mean, I've been running everything, getting everything changed over.
Right.
But yeah, now that
Yeah,
now that you've mentioned it, I probably will again soon.
Yeah, you got to go check that out. For those of you listening who haven't checked it out yet, Mount St. Helens has kind of a parody page, but hey, they are salty, they are saucy, and it is fun. It is just, they're taking digs at Mount Rainier. They're rumbling, talking about, I'm gonna blow harder than your mom and stuff like that. It's kind of like how Wendy's used to be, and it's just it shows that there's still fun on Twitter.
Well, yeah,
And,
which right now they're really...
there's still fun. I like the new Twitter. I like Twitter 2.0. It reminds me of early Twitter 1.0. And because the left has next to no power there now. So it's fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, so part of it is, though, the part of what makes it fun for us is all the people that are screeching now because they have to see us.
Yeah.
Because remember, back before Elon bought everything, nobody could see us. So it was kind of our own little echo chamber. But it was also their own little echo chamber. So once they started having to see us again, they were like, oh my God, somebody let the riffraff back in. And we're like, hi, how are you?
We were always here. We're just not being suppressed by Jack's thumb on the scale. Which, and I've said this on my Twitter feed. I've said this on here. Jack inadvertently gave me the Twitter experience that he wanted everyone to have. Because with my numerous and sundry suspensions, I was able to distill my followers down to a very active core. And that's how Twitter should be for everybody. And thank you, Jack, because with your jackassery, you actually have made my Twitter experience what you wanted everybody else to have until you decided you just wanted to make it for an echo chamber for progressivism and far left. And so you let them get as nutty as they possibly could be, overplaying their hand, which has hastened the decline of many very strong negatives over the last few years. Like, have you noticed how Pride is very subdued this year?
I had noticed that, to be honest, because normally, I mean, everybody's got it everywhere, and it's really not been a thing.
Yeah. It's just been, I mean, it's always been over the top. And you have two fronts on that. You have the basically the Gen X LGB just absolutely getting sick of who has co-opted their movement and undone 30 years of acceptance in the span of a few years. Then you have, now that we're not throttled and now that we're not being silenced under Twitter 2.0, a bunch of people who are really tired of their shit. And somebody who is actually, I've always been a huge fan of hers, and it's recently, I don't know if she's just recently become vocal or if she always has been, and now I'm just seeing it because we talked about how we were always kind of put down into our own little circles. Sherry Curry from the Runaways.
Dude, she's amazing.
She is amazing. And she is just fucking awesome. And I got a hug and a kiss and a get well soon from her today. So I'm still riding high on that too, as well as Oxy. And but if you're not following Sherry Curry, she is the musical J.K. Rowling with this shit.
Oh, she was extremely happy today too, because she actually picked up a Rowling follow. She's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, she did. So, and that's kind of, she's just absolutely awesome. And if you're not familiar with the Runaways, where the fuck have you been? Cherry Bomb, and a lot of other ones too. And I've said this in the past that she is single-handedly responsible for giving me my lifelong fetish about fishnets. So,
have you told her that yet? Now that she's following you,
I haven't told her that yet. So
you'd probably get unfollowed.
Yeah, I may get an unfollow from that, or a date. Who knows? So, right. But anyway, yeah. So it's the conversation. I don't want to say the conversation's opening, but now we get to do what we used to do back in Gamergate before the throttles got put on us. We were able to actively call out the bullshit narrative being driven in real time. And that was part of the success of Gamergate was we weren't silenced at the time. And then that's when Twitter came down with their trust and safety department. And then that's when the hammer really started coming down on people. And because you had like fucking Brianna Wu and Zoe and fucking just, all these people who have huge chips on their shoulders and axes to grind were in control of what speech was verboten on Twitter. So yeah, that's going away and it's better for everybody.
I mean, my problem is I feel like it's going away way too slowly, and Elon Musk appointing wiffle ball bat Linda is not helping.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're still getting a lot of it. Like Duchess Assault was suspended for like 2 months and she finally got lifted. And a lot of people are still getting their dick slapped for pretty innocuous tweets. As Rex always, G just got out of 7 days and shit like that too. I get my 7 days every now and then, but you know what it is? It's just 7 days. It's not permaban for wrongthink. So, and yeah, I get it. I see comments on Twitter. Yes, we're still getting throttled. And yes, we are. But if you remember how it was a year ago, I would probably have 4 new accounts since then.
You're being generous.
And wouldn't be able to use retard like a comma.
I mean, there are things that are better, but well, honestly, so this is my thing, because I've been experimenting a little bit since Musk took things private, because, I'm one of those people that likes to take things apart, put them back together, try to figure out what's working, what's not working. But I've noticed even for me, because I was just really starting to build momentum, and then he took likes private, and now half my numbers are gone. And then I started looking at other bigger accounts that were like, what the hell is going on? And then there's a tool now that everybody used to use that was broken. So luckily, Calvin found another one. So everybody's not freaking out about that anymore, because they can see that they still exist according to X, Twitter, whatever
the
they
thing
call
is,
it.
he didn't really take likes away. The likes are still there. You can see who liked your tweet. What he did was, and this is the common misconception, is because what a lot of people were doing in cancel culture, they were finding out if you liked some mildly controversial tweet that somebody had made, they would take the screenshot of that and use that to pillory you.
No, I know why he did. I know why he did what he did, but I noticed that everybody's numbers started falling off once he took the likes private. Now anybody who has the account that you like, they can still see it. What he's done is made it to where nobody else can go in and see it for the reason that Amish was just talking about. But I've also noticed, because I've went back and I looked at tweets that had comparable likes before and after, and the reach is about half of what it was before, which is why I put out on social media what I put out yesterday. If you are somebody that has a content creator that you like, whether it's me, Amish, anybody else, make sure you're not just liking their comments anymore, unless you're afraid that you're going to get canceled, but retweet them too. Now, if you're afraid you're going to get canceled, don't do that. But at this point, until they can figure out whether it's something that Wiffle Ball Bat Linda has done, or if somehow taking likes private has messed with their algorithm, because I've seen tweets with the same number of likes before he took them private that had 2,000-3,000 impressions. Same tweet, not same tweets, but basically same number of likes, 200-300 impressions. So something's definitely different. And the only reason I even started looking at it was because I started looking at Foo, and she's like, dude, I have like 150,000 people that are following me, and like 50 people have seen this. And I started looking at it, I was like, dude, she's got like 75 likes on that. How the hell have only 50 people seen it if 75 people have liked it? That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I think there's something screwy with the numbers. I mean, I will notice on my monetization too that, I mean, I hate talking about my monetization. I really do. But I did Crater last month. Yeah, I don't know why, especially when I had that one runaway tweet. But see, runaways again. Thinking about you, Sherry. Yeah, it was but yeah, I mean, obviously there is some fuckery afoot. I don't exactly know what it is. But it seems to be stabilizing because my impressions are going back up.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I'm not saying that it won't stabilize. I'm just saying I think there was an unintended consequence when he took likes private. No, I don't. And like I said, if everybody's numbers start going back to normal, that means it may have been something temporary. What concerns me is there is, WEF Linda back there with all the plugs and switches now, and she does still do some fuckery, which is one of the things that I am the most upset with him about. Is like you can't scream and yell about how you're a free speech guy and then put her in charge of everything, because that annoys the crap out of me. And I like Elon. I mean, I know some people don't now, and the show that I did first thing this afternoon, one of the first people that was somebody that was following along with Jeff was like, are you sure Elon's not the Antichrist? Because we started talking about Soros and how, back in the day when Glenn Beck was calling him Spooky Dude, I was pretty sure he was probably the Antichrist. He's like, how do you know Elon Musk isn't? I'm like, dude, come on. First of all, if you've ever read the Bible, you know where the Antichrist is supposed to come from. South Africa ain't it. I'm just saying. But other than that, I mean, so I know he's ruffling some feathers, and he's another one that the Biden administration is starting to come after. So I'm like, dude, if you don't have good security, you should get some.
No, Musk isn't the Antichrist. Musk is Hank Scorpio.
I've always.
If you don't get the Simpsons reference, we can't be friends.
And I got it. I just wasn't going to say anything.
I know.
I kind of, now that he's getting into space travel, I envision him as the real life Tony Stark.
Right. There's that too. Yeah, he's got a bit of Tony Stark in him too. He's mellowing though. He's not knocking up every chick he dates, so there's that.
Well, I mean, he's kind of had to mellow because
Well, yeah, since all of his tweets have to be approved by anyway.
Dude, that is I didn't know that until I started working with Twitchy, because we have a lawyer on staff now, and he's like, because everybody's like, oh my god, I can't believe he said that, and he's like, well, what you should really understand is not only was he able to say that, it had to be approved by a lawyer before he could actually say it, and he still got away with it. I was like, holy shit.
One of my favorite things now is whenever I call somebody retarded and they try to report me for it, I use Elon Musk's "That's retarded" as the reply.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's not.
And that's the thing. Look, I understand, the negative connotations that word has nowadays, etc. But it's an actual word. It just means slow.
Well, and even then, I mean, I get it. It's like they. People, the R word, like it's the N word. It's like, okay, look, you got to understand that the R word retard was used so that way people would stop using the actual negative words of imbecile and moron. And what they did so they kept using imbecile and moron for just stupid people. I mean, not just, not, developmentally challenged, but, actually, oh, you're a fucking moron, you're an imbecile. And, but, it's like the meme on Twitter. It's funny how everything got gay and retarded once they said we couldn't say gay and retarded anymore.
Never go full retard.
Yeah. So, what are you watching?
What the hell have I been watching lately?
Those of you new to the show, this is the segment of the show. What are you watching?
So yeah, this is normally how we end this one. Normally we kind of go around to talk about what we've been watching. So I watched the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte. I have not watched anything since because space lesbians suck. Other than that,
I mean, usually I'd be all into space lesbians, like, if they redid Barbarella or something.
I mean, I'm not saying all space lesbians suck. I'm saying Disney space lesbians suck because it was just weird.
Emmanuel Through Time was never mind.
But yeah, it was just weird. But so I also have been watching the new Doctor Who, and I know lots of people have the same issues with that one. I will say if you've maybe turned it off after like the first or second episode, I think they're almost done with it. So I would just wait for all of them to drop and then rewatch it. Because there's actually a couple of Easter eggs that are woven throughout that actually start tying things back together again and make it feel a little bit more like old school Doctor Who. At least in the last episode that I watched, I was like, oh, that's why we kept... But anyway, I don't... Spoilers. I'm not going to do that. But so I've been watching that. And again, it's something that Disney is trying to destroy. But, I refuse to let them. I'm going to try to support at least some of it. The Acolyte, I just can't. I can't do it. Now again, once it's all dropped, I may change my mind and watch it. Because another one that everybody kind of took apart that I kind of enjoyed was Ahsoka, but that's because I have watched every bit of cartoon Star Wars ever made, including the Ewok Christmas special. And so there was a lot of backstory there that I was able to tie into. A lot of folks that were watching it never really watched all that stuff, so they didn't have the anchors to it. So. It wasn't as bad as everybody made it out to be. Was it as good as it could have been? Was it like Mandalorian, like seasons 1 and 2? No. But has that one even dropped off? Yes. And
Emery, I'm stealing that meme.
And unfortunately, now that the writer's strike has thrown everything out, everything's losing momentum too. Because Star Trek: Strange New Worlds is season 2 or season 3 isn't even dropping till 2025 now because of the writer's strike. So even the shows that were doing well are going to have to recover because there's just been too much of a gap. And I don't know. I think, and this is something that I've talked about. The other thing that I watched recently was the final episode of Discovery. And I think we talked about this on one of the last shows that we did together. But since we do have new people listening, the thing about Star Trek, and this is kind of true with all of the iterations of Star Trek, and even with the first one, it usually takes about 3 seasons to find its feet. Somewhere towards the 3rd season, it starts making sense because, especially with the newer versions of it, because there's a lot of exposition and stuff. And the same thing happened with Discovery. The difference is they only have 10-episode seasons, so they were on their 50th episode when they wrapped. Star Trek The Next Generation had 52 episodes in the can before it ever even became anything that was worth watching, that wasn't just a rehash of both seen and unseen Star Trek The Original Series episodes. Because the whole first season of the show was things that got left on the cutting room floor when 4 and 5 got canceled. And then other things, like they redid, what was it, The Naked Now? When everybody got drunk.
Yeah. Whenever they redid that on TNG too.
Yeah, well, no, that's
when Data got together with Tasha Yar.
Yeah, that's when Data was like, "I am fully functional." She's like, "You're such a gem." But yeah, no, but yeah, I've also been rewatching Stargate because which interesting little anecdote.
Stargate drink.
Jonas Quinn finally followed me back, and it's interesting because I just finished the Jonas Quinn arc like the day before he followed me back. It's funny because Because I was like, he actually follows like almost everybody with the station and has never followed me. And I don't even know what I did. The only thing I can think of is because I made a joke about Dana Lesh and Chris Lesh because there was a Coke bottle that said have a Coke with somebody named, and then it was Dana, but they crossed out Dana and said no one but Zool.
I saw that. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know why, but I can imagine Chris doing this to Dana, and I'm afraid Sherry might get me unfollowed. And like 5 minutes later, Court Nimick was following me. I was like, I have been trying to get you to follow me for 5 fucking years. This is what did it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad you did it finally.
Right.
But yeah, I was like, I don't even understand. I've like interacted directly with you and never got your attention. And then like for like all day yesterday, he was like all over my feed for like 3 hours. I'm like, you must be bored, but cool.
Yeah, he gets like that when he first followed, because when he first followed me too, he was all over my feed. So it's like, he's checking you out before he. Anyway,
it's like, did you actually earn my follow, or I'm gonna take it back? But and then Aggie was all sad. She's like, he still hasn't followed me. So I tried. I don't think it worked, but I tried. I never saw her do a squee tweet or put anything in DM. But I tried to tag her into a conversation with him, and it was like, she's a really big fan, and I never do this. And he's like, bravo, and that was all it was. I was like, dude, she referenced even one of your like lesser known characters. That alone should have gotten their follow. Anyway,
you know what? I keep trying to get the guys over at Disasters in the Making to do this one because it's my probably outside of Stargate, it's my favorite coordinamic thing, and that is Solar Crisis with Jack Palance and just the cheesiest fucking evil corporation trying to ruin the planet, blah 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 blah, and yeah, he's in that.
Oh, Redacted got blocked by Robert Picardo over masking.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Dude, I like Picardo. Although I do admit I did not enjoy his arc in Stargate. I don't.
You know, I thought he did well the last season of Atlantis.
Yeah,
when he took over base after Carter.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I was
like it took the stick out of his ass because he wasn't just IOC fucking guy. He actually had to do something.
Yeah, I mean, I will see that. I have to admit, I was a little sad when Carter left because I was like, she's finally getting to do her thing, and she's like, I'm gonna go do this show instead.
Oh, when she went to go do Sanctuary, I wish they would put that on not a fast so I could watch it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the only places you can watch that right now are the ones that are like, oh, we're gonna throw ads in.
Yeah, it's like Babylon 5 is strictly on fast right now.
But
I could totally go for some Babylon 5 right now, but I just can't do the commercials.
Even my Amazon has become that, and I'm not paying another couple of dollars just for them to take the fucking ads off. I'm like, I already give enough money to streaming services. I mean, that's actually one of the reasons why I downgraded my dish package and got rid of it eventually and went to YouTube TV, and now YouTube TV shot up $15 in the 2 years that I've had it. So I'm like, I'm already paying for Disney and everything else. So if I do Hulu Live TV and then even factoring in the Disney cost and everything else, I'm actually going to be saving money. So I think I'm about to tell YouTube TV to fly a kite and change over to Hulu. Well, the only reason I went with that one is because I thought my kids would watch it more than they do, and that actually allows you to stream up to 3 devices at a time, which means if I'm in my room, they can still be watching it, and then if I'm not in my room, I can change over to the living room TV, and then it still only counts as 3 streams. But they almost never watch regular TV. I'm just like, I can do I can do 2 streams and save myself $20 a month and just bundle everything back together. But the funny thing is, I was going to do this last month, and I went to go cancel Hulu, and they're like, we'll give you $15 off for 3 months. I'm like, okay, I'll keep you for a little while longer.
There you go.
You took your price increase back for a few months, so I'm going to stick with you for now. But
yeah,
anyway.
You've earned my loyalty for another 3 months. I'm watching you.
Yeah, it was funny because every time I went to go cancel Dish, they were like, we'll give you this for free for 3 months. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah, they tried that with me, and it worked once, and then it's like, I don't think you understand. Let me explain it to you like you're 5 years old with a severe learning disability.
But anyway, so enough about what I'm watching and my plethora of streaming services. What have you been watching?
So, okay, I started watching the new Dune movies again. I really wanted to watch Dune Part 2 without all the social media angst, because I bought into all of it last time, and I watched it. I'm like, oh, this is fucking terrible. And so I'm watching it again. I don't mind it as much because I think I know what's going to be happening. With the Shawnee is a feminist and fucking all that, and Stilgar is a fangirl, and I just kind of like, okay, you know what, I know to expect it, so I'm not going to let myself get mad about those things, and I'm just going to say, okay, so this is this particular director's take, because we all grew up with David Lynch, and David Lynch in every project he does just sucks his own dick as his own genius. So that's what we were fed for so long until the Sci-Fi Channel did theirs. And I want to watch the Sci-Fi Channel ones again too, because I don't think I gave those a fair shake. I was expecting them to be like Lynch, and they weren't. So I've been watching the Dune movies, and also just as a taking a break because they're such a slog. I can't do 3 hours. There was a time I would be able to watch like Gandhi or The Right Stuff or whatever, and just go burn right through it. I can't do the 3 hour movies anymore. I need to take a break, which is why I don't see them in the theater. And so when that's down, I've been watching Warehouse 13, which, if you haven't seen that show, that is the golden age of the Sci-Fi Channel. It's fun. It's an interesting, fresh premise on something. Yeah, it does a lot of the sci-fi tropes, but it does them in a way where they don't feel tropey. And so it's like Eureka. It's just a fun, cute little show. They're episodic, but they do have big arcs. They got the big bads of the season, and we're coming into the one where Anthony Michael Hall was the big bad. So, yeah, and that's basically what I've been watching lately. And these pills really get me wired, so I've been able to stay up until 2 o'clock and watch more than half an episode without passing out, like I have been at work. So,
Nice.
Yeah, so I can get a couple episodes. It doesn't take me a month to stream a season because I'm like getting 30 minutes into it and then sack out. So,
Yeah, so I really enjoyed, going back to Dune, I really enjoyed the first installment. I tried to start the second installment the other day, and I was just like, you know what? I don't want to have to read a fucking movie right now. If I wanted to read something, I'd open a book. I get
Tell
it.
me you don't watch anime without actually saying you don't watch anime.
I don't really watch much anime. I mean,
I know. That's what
I do some. I mean, like, but usually I'll find like dubbed versions because I hate reading. I hate reading screens. If I'm gonna read something, I'd rather have a book in my hand. But it's just one of those things and that's one of the things that I always kind of liked about Star Trek is eventually, if it's a different language, most of the time they'll let you hear the language for a minute and then it'll change over to English, so you don't have to keep reading a screen. And I love that. I understand that.
Oh my god, that's a fantastic take. Bad Mojo on Twitter said Warehouse 13 was a good update to the Friday the 13th series. That is a fantastic take.
Ooh, that had not occurred to me. But that actually is not a bad take at all. It's kind of like a weird continue. Dude, like, was I the only one that was really confused by that series at first since it's been brought up? Because
yeah,
I remember when it first came out, I was like, what the fuck is this? Then there was like a hot redhead, so I didn't really care.
Right, and then all of a sudden I go, okay, I'm listening.
I was like, you know what? Hot redhead. I don't miss Jason Voorhees very much, but But yeah, I was like, this makes zero sense to me, but whatever. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, I couldn't do it the other night. I was like, I don't feel like reading a movie. And I get it. A lot of people do that kind of stuff now for like authenticity's sake. Like freaking Mel Gibson with The Passion of Christ was entirely in freaking Aramaic. And I'm like, I don't want to read a movie.
Right.
Stop it.
You gotta admire the commitment to the bit, though.
I mean, seriously, though. I mean, honestly, I actually did watch some of it one time because my dad had it on. And if I hadn't known that was Jim Caviezel, I would have never fucking known.
No, totally.
I'm like, that does not. I mean, but he is a pretty good method actor, though, too. Oh, something else I just realized that I had been watching because I forgot it was on there. AMC Plus has the miniseries for the remake of The Prisoner, which has him as the lead character.
Oh, really?
And I never finished watching it. So I actually, when I was sick on Sunday, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to watch this. It's only 6 episodes. But I love it because it has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has an end, and it all makes sense. And I'm like, I miss this about TV. We never get this anymore.
I know. So,
but yeah, it was really good. I was like, it's not as good as the original, but I mean, because it's you kind of already know what to expect if you watch the original one from like what was it, late '60s. But it was really good. I mean, I'm a big Jim Caviezel fan. I really am. The guy that played alongside him in God, why can I not think of the name of the show? CBS. He former CIA agent. What the hell was the name of it?
Oh shit.
Damn it! It's right on the tip of my tongue, and I cannot think of it. But anyway, so the guy that played alongside him in that one has been a part of a show that started on CBS and then moved over to Paramount Plus streaming exclusively, and it's called Evil. And he's basically the big bad in that, which I've never seen this particular actor play a bad guy. He's really good at it. It's kind of terrifying how good at it he is. But Person of Interest, I knew it was in there somewhere.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, so and they're in their final season.
I don't know why I was thinking Burn Notice when that wasn't even close.
Well, same general premise, just a little different. But yeah, so they're in their final season. But normally for that one, I kind of wait till all the episodes are dropped before I watch it because I don't know. The ordained minister in me kind of screams when I start watching anything about the devil, so I usually have to watch it all at once. But and it's been kind of weird because it kind of jumps around, but it's been a fun watch. So I think they're almost done with their run. But anyway, I don't know how we got on that tangent, but
yeah. Well, we're there, and there we are.
All right. So,
wow, that hour went quick.
Yeah, it went quick, and we are. We actually did the full hour, even though we got a late start. So
yeah,
but primarily because you're on drugs and don't have to go to work tomorrow.
Right, there's that too.
So anyway, drugs.
Drugs. You got drugs.
Where can folks find you? I mean, your X thing's been scrolling for like the last hour because I didn't really do anything else, but.
Yeah, so you can find me obviously on Twitter as Ordnance Packard. By the way, for those of you new to the show, we broadcast primarily on KLRNradio.com, so check us out over there. You can get archives of all the old shows. And if you're familiar with us, we've just got this branched out into X, Twitter. Why am I calling it X? It's fucking Twitter and Rumble, and we finally got the ability to branch out into strange new worlds. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter as Ordnance Packard. You can find me Saturday night where Rick, myself, Stoner Jeff, Mickey Blowtorch, and John Katz will be doing a roundtable discussion on Are We in a Simulation? You can find me next week probably on Manorama, on Rancor Steve's channel, Rumble channel. You can find me next Wednesday back here with Rick, and you can find me next Thursday on The Culture Shift with Brad Slager, where we turn our skeptical eye to the entertainment industry. How about you, Rick? Where can people not find you?
And where
you're like Elvis, you're opening up Piggly Wiggly's in Dayton.
Well, before we get into where people can find me, which Circle K's will you be frequenting while you're not at work?
Because of my current status, I will not be. So hopefully people are taking up the slack. I won't be behind a Circle K for a couple of weeks.
Oh man, all the moms around the country are sad now.
There's just going to be a whole bunch of leftist kids who are going without their store brand Hot Pockets this week.
All right, as far as where you can find me, I am hoping to be back in the afternoon show chair tomorrow, which is Rick Robinson's show, usually Monday through Friday between the hours of 3 p.m. 5 p.m. Eastern, except for the first Monday of the month. That has not been the case this week because I've been sick, but I hope to be back tomorrow, so that it should be back tomorrow and Friday. Jen and Rick tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Friday night, Aggie, Rican, and I will be doing He Said, She Said. Supposed to be filling in for the Mickey Blowtorch, who was on extended hiatus, but he kind of made it seem like it may be my show now. The last time he sat in on the whole, doing the whole dude bro thing. So I'm like, you're coming back, right? He's like, maybe. Like, yeah. Anyway.
He's got a lot going on.
No, I know, and I'm just busting balls. But so that'll be Aggie time. Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Saturday night, again, back around with you. Sunday night, America Off the Rails, 10 p.m. Eastern. For those of you that may not have checked it out before, there is one that was an impromptu tonight because G, who is usually the 8 o'clock guy, is on a break for the summer, and Andrew was working. So we didn't do from his basement either. From your basement, from your mom. I don't even, is it from his basement, from your mom's basement? I don't know. I know there's a show that involves basements, and it's Andrew's, and that's the one we've been doing on Wednesdays lately. Next Wednesday, I think it's next Wednesday. I think next Wednesday is the last Wednesday. Anyway, last Wednesday of the month, Toxic Masculinity. Me, you, Andrew, G, usually Aggie serving drinks, and usually a baby of the month. So that's coming up. Then when I'm not,
that's right. That's 2 weeks.
I guess you're right. So yeah, when I'm not doing all that stuff, you can usually find me as a regular contributor on Twitchy.com. I also produce the Loftus Party podcast, which usually drops on Tuesdays. Regular contributor on the LoftusParty.com website, as well as an occasional contributor on Misfits Politics. You can find me on X and most other social media platforms at RowdyRick73. I think that's it. And if not,
Also, one I forgot to mention, because I mean it's still new and it's still fresh. Every other week, 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be doing Fubar again. Fu will actually be on vacation for the rest of the month. So I have, you talked about Jen. I got Jen Homestead filling in her spot while Fu is on vacation. So, but yes, Fubar is back every other week.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned new shows because I almost forgot mine.
That's right. You have one coming up with Cats.
Going Mental is live tomorrow night with myself and John Katz. That will be at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I guess you'll have.
I've been meaning to ask, what is the premise of that show?
That is basically a foray into us having candid discussions about mental health and why the world has gone crazy.
Cool. Awesome.
So
more non-political content.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of that on the network.
Trying to branch out with it a little bit more. I mean, honestly, it's been something that's been on my mind, and I planned on doing some like shorter videos and stuff with it. And then I noticed he was putting out a lot of content like that. I'm like, you know what? We should collaborate on something and just put it out all at the same time.
Is very zen.
Yeah, I mean, he really is. But now tomorrow night is the first episode. I did let him know, and he knows this, that I'll be sharing a lot of what I went through during my divorce, which is what made all of this kind of forefront for me. Because I almost wasn't here anymore, and then I realized exactly how bad it had gotten. And that's when I started, my own little spiral that I'm slowly recovering from. I will say I do not recommend. It's been about a 3.5-year spiral, and it's taking me forever to dig myself back out of it in more ways than one. And this is somebody that, does counsel people all the time, was going to counseling myself and everything else, and even I couldn't cope. So, then this is the end of this, because this will be mainly for tomorrow night. But as guys, we're told we have to keep everything in. I get it. You want to have a public persona that looks like a badass. Find somebody that you can talk to that you trust. I don't care who it is, because you can't hold it all in all the time. But yeah, that's just a sneak preview of tomorrow. So anyway,
there you go.
We're going to get out of here because I'm getting sleepy. Oh, all right. So that's it. Hope you guys have enjoyed the Chat Lives Matter night. And unlike Foo, we do not think chat sucks. Not always, anyway. Also, I think the other reason I've been a little down this week is we're coming up on the anniversary of Ron's passing.
That's true.
Actually, a week from today, I think.
You'd be happy that Fubar's back. So there's,
Yeah, I have an idea for most of Wednesday. So there may not be a Rick Robinson show on Wednesday. I think what I'm going to do, because I just realized I have like all of the times that he's called in when I was filling in on KOKC and the few shows that we actually coaxed him into doing. I think that'll be my first real test on Live 365, because I noticed Jeff has the player up there. So I think I'm going to program that stuff to run almost all day until we go live on Wednesday night.
Cool.
Just because that's his day. And
right on. For those of you who don't know, Ron was the one who motivated this network into getting its head out of its ass and just keep pushing, because he was sometimes the only one in chat who kept us going, especially Rick.
Yeah, especially when I was doing everything like super late at night because everybody else wanted the earlier time slots and I never sleep anyway. I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to do a show tonight. He's like, I don't give a fuck if I'm the only one there. I need you. I was like, fine.
Right. So he became a station fixture. He passed a couple years ago, and he was definitely missed.
And since we'll be doing it on Live 365, I may even throw in some minute work occasionally just for fun.
Men without hats.
Yeah, that one specifically.
Anyway, you're fading. I'm not.
Yes, because you're stoned. I'm not.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks. You were great.
That's what she said in my dreams.